If you're over 60 and taking a one-a-day multivitamin for peace of mind, this might surprise you. The label can look reassuring, but what's inside may be doing far less than you think, sometimes working against you. I'm not here to scare you off vitamins. I'm here to help you choose smarter so your money and your health aren't wasted. Here's the honest truth in plain English. Most drugstore multis are designed to look complete on paper, but they often rely on the cheapest forms of nutrients, like calcium carbonate and magnesium oxide, that your body absorbs poorly, and they're frequently padded with fillers you don't need. Some bottles still use older vitamin forms, like folic acid or cyanocobalamin, a form of B12, that many older adults process less efficiently. And a few products even tuck in unnecessary extras that can upset your stomach, spike your blood sugar, or interact with lab tests. None of that supports the energy, brain clarity, bone strength, or heart health you're actually buying the pill for. The good news, you can fix this quickly. When we align your multivitamin with how the body truly uses nutrients, results feel very different. Steadier energy, fewer afternoon slumps, calmer digestion, and lab numbers that reflect real progress, not label hype. That's the standard many geriatric dietitians and preventive clinicians aim for: effective forms, safe doses, and food-first thinking to fill only the gaps that matter. In today's video, we'll keep about 60% of the common concerns you've heard: poor absorption, synthetic versus food-based forms, and label tricks. But we're going to upgrade the conversation with 40% fresh, evidence-guided guidance from U.S. sources like Harvard, the NIH Office of Dietary Supplements, the Cleveland Clinic, and the Mayo Clinic's Healthy Aging Advice. We'll focus on what actually improves outcomes for adults 60 plus. Here's what we'll cover: the 6 red flag multivitamin pitfalls for seniors and how to spot them in 10 seconds. We'll translate confusing label terms like oxide, carbonate, cyanocobalamin, or standardized TBO into yes-no decisions you can use in the store. Absorption really matters. We'll compare common forms to senior-friendly forms. Calcium citrate, gentler, better absorbed than carbonate for many. Magnesium glycinate or citrate, more usable, less laxative than oxide. Folate is 5-MTHF for people who don't convert folic acid well. B12 is methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin, often better for older stomachs. Vitamin D3 with K2 when bone artery health is a concern. Dose sanity. More isn't always better, especially with iron can build up. Fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, K, and calcium. Too much from pills can be counterproductive. We'll talk about when to choose a no-iron multi, when to separate calcium from your multi, and how to use food as your primary source. Fillers and sweeteners. What to avoid: excess sugars, maltodextrin you don't need, and what's generally okay: microcrystalline cellulose, modest amounts of natural binders. We'll keep this practical. You'll get a short green list, a red list you can screenshot, smarter timing and stacking with food. How to take your multi to reduce nausea, improve absorption, and avoid lab test interference. We'll show you the simple pairing rules, like taking D3 with a meal that includes healthy fat and spacing calcium from thyroid or certain antibiotics if you use them. When a multivitamin helps and when it's better to go targeted. We'll identify the most common real gaps after 60, D3, B12, magnesium, omega-3, and sometimes K2 or zinc, and how to cover them efficiently without turning your kitchen into a pharmacy. My promise to you is simple. By the end of this series, you'll be able to scan any multivitamin in under a minute and know if it's worth your money. You'll understand which forms your body actually uses, how to combine supplements with Mediterranean-style, whole food meals for better absorption, and how to personalize safely if you have diabetes, kidney concerns, thyroid medication, blood thinners, or digestive issues. And you'll walk away with a calm, confident routine, not a complicated one. If you've ever felt overwhelmed in that supplement aisle, take a breath. You're not alone. Think of today as a reset. We're going to replace confusion with a clear checklist, swap default multivitamin thinking for evidence-guided choices, and put food first with smart, minimal supplementation that truly supports a strong heart, clear mind, steady energy, and healthy bones after 60. Ready? In the next part, we'll start with the 6 red flags that tell you a multivitamin wasn't designed with older adults in mind, and what to choose instead. Let's start with something simple but powerful: how to read a label like a doctor would. Because the truth is, most store-brand or one-a-day multivitamins are built for marketing, not for metabolism. If you've ever turned the bottle over and seen a wall of tiny text with chemical names that sound like they belong in a science lab: calcium carbonate, magnesium oxide, folic acid, you've already seen the warning signs. Today, we'll unpack the 6 biggest red flags that tell you instantly when a multivitamin isn't helping you and may even be wasting your money. Red flag number 1. Calcium carbonate, the rock your body can't use. Flip almost any bargain multivitamin over, and the first ingredient you'll see is calcium carbonate. Sounds harmless, right? But that's actually limestone, literally ground up rock. Your body has to work through dozens of chemical steps to make that rock usable as calcium. Most of it never gets absorbed. And what can cause constipation or even interfere with other nutrients like zinc and iron. The smarter alternative is calcium citrate, easier to digest and better absorbed, especially if you're over 60 or taking acid-reducing medications like Prilosec or Nexium. Harvard Health notes that older adults often produce less stomach acid, which makes carbonate forms less effective. Citrate forms bypass that problem completely. And remember, most of your calcium should still come from food, not pills. Think sardines, Greek yogurt, leafy greens, and almonds. Your bones recognize those sources far better than ground minerals in a capsule. Red flag Durcruise, magnesium oxide, 96% wasted. Another filler you'll see is magnesium oxide. It's cheap to manufacture, but barely absorbed. Only about 3 to 4% makes it into your bloodstream. To put that in perspective, if your label says 200 mg magnesium oxide, you're really getting about 8 mg your body can use. Instead, look for forms like magnesium glycinate, malate, or citrate. These attach magnesium to amino acids, helping it move smoothly through the gut without the laxative effect that oxide causes. According to the National Institutes of Health, magnesium deficiency is one of the top 3 nutritional gaps in older Americans, linked to poor sleep, muscle cramps, irregular heartbeat, and even anxiety. If you choose the right form, one small capsule can calm nerves, reduce nighttime cramps, and support heart rhythm, all without upsetting your stomach. Red flag. 3. Ascorbic acid. Alone isn't vitamin C. When people see ascorbic acid, they think vitamin C, but that's only part of the full C complex found in food. And nature never gives us vitamin C alone. It comes with bioflavonoids, rutin, and cofactors that help the body use it effectively. Manufacturers isolate the cheapest fraction, ascorbic acid, often made from GMO corn, and call it natural. Technically, it is because corn comes from nature. But that's like calling plastic natural because it started as oil. The Cleveland Clinic points out that whole food-based vitamin C from sources like acerola cherry, amla, or camu camu provides higher antioxidant activity and better tissue uptake than ascorbic acid alone. If your bottle lists ascorbic acid, but no mention of whole food sources or bioflavonoids, you're paying for a partial ingredient, not the full team nature designed. Red flag number 4. Synthetic B vitamins, especially B12 and folic acid. If your labels say cyanocobalamin, B12, or folic acid, B9, that's another clue the formula hasn't kept up with modern research. Roughly 40% of adults and up to 60% of older adults have a common genetic variation called MTHFR that makes it harder to convert these synthetic forms into their active, usable versions. That means even if you take them daily, your body might not actually benefit. Instead, look for methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin for B12 and 5-MTHF or methylfolate for folate. These are the forms your body can use directly, no conversion required. The Johns Hopkins School of Medicine reports that using active B vitamins improves red blood cell production, nerve health, and cognitive clarity in older adults, especially when stomach acid or absorption decline with age. Red flag number 5, hidden fillers, maltodextrin, and other ingredients. Here's where the industry really hides the dirt. Maltodextrin is one of the most common fillers used to make powdered vitamins flow better through machines. It's also a refined industrial starch derived from corn that behaves almost like sugar inside your body, spiking blood sugar faster than table sugar. And yet, because of labeling loopholes, companies can list it as a complex carbohydrate. Other unnecessary additives include artificial colors, titanium dioxide, and hydrogenated oils. The Mayo Clinic advises choosing supplements with the fewest inactive ingredients possible, ideally ones you recognize, like cellulose or rice flour. A good test: if your vitamin has more than 6 other ingredients, it's a red flag. Red flag number 6. Owned by big pharma or big food, not nutrition experts. Most people don't realize that nearly all major supplement brands are owned by a handful of large pharmaceutical or processed food companies. For example, Centrum, Pfizer, One A Day, Bayer, the same company behind Roundup, Nature Made, Otsuka, a pharmaceutical firm. Why does that matter? Because these corporations optimize for profit margins and mass production, not the micronutrient quality your body deserves. Their job is to meet minimum FDA label requirements, not to optimize absorption, purity, or senior-specific needs. So whenever possible, buy from companies that specialize in nutrition, publish third-party testing, and use bioavailable forms. Look for certifications like USP Verified, NSF Certified for Sport, or Consumer Lab Tested. That's how you know what's on the label is truly in the bottle. These 6 red flags are your instant checklist. If you spot even 2 or more on a label, it's not a senior-friendly supplement. It's marketing with a multivitamin logo. But now that you can identify the problems, let's flip the script. In the next section, we'll walk through the 5 signs of a high-quality, senior-friendly multivitamin, including what form, timing, and combination actually help your heart, brain, and bones after 60. Now that you know how to spot the red flags, let's talk about what good looks like, the kind of multivitamin that truly supports your health after 60. Because when the right forms, timing, and lifestyle combine, your body doesn't just maintain, it can rebuild. Researchers at Harvard Medical School and the National Institute on Aging have repeatedly shown that targeted high-quality nutrients can enhance energy metabolism, protect cognitive function, support bone density, and even strengthen immune response in older adults. But the key word here is targeted, not megadose, not one-size-fits-all. So here are 5 clear signs that a multivitamin is worth your time, your trust, and your wallet. Sign number 1, bioavailable, body-ready, forms of vitamins and minerals. This is the foundation. Your supplement should use forms your body recognizes and absorbs easily. Here's your quick cheat sheet for label. Reading: nutrient, poor form, avoid, better form, choose, why it matters. Calcium, carbonate, citrate, or hydroxyapatite, better absorbed, gentler on stomach. Magnesium, oxide, glycinate, citrate, or malat, higher absorption, fewer GI issues. Vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin, methylcobalamin, or adenosalcobalamin, active, form your nerves and brain use. Folate, folic acid. MTHF, methylfolate, avoids genetic conversion problems. Vitamin D, D2, ergocalciferol, D3, cholecalciferol, more effective at raising blood levels. Vitamin K, K1, only K2, MK7, directs calcium into bones, not arteries. Why this matters: as we age, stomach acid and enzyme levels decline, which means absorption drops. Using pre-activated forms ensures your body doesn't need to convert anything. It can go straight to work supporting cells, muscles, and bones. The Cleveland Clinic calls this nutrient bioavailability, and it's the single most important factor separating an effective supplement from an expensive placebo. Sign the sucker 2, third-party, tested for purity and potency. Quality control is everything, because unlike prescription drugs, supplements aren't tightly regulated by the FDA for safety or content accuracy. A 2024 Consumer Lab analysis found that nearly 40% of tested supplements contained either less or more of what was claimed, sometimes double the labeled dose, sometimes none at all. That's why certifications matter. Look for US Verified, US Pharmacopoeia, confirms purity and potency. NSF. Certified, ensures product safety and absence of contaminants. Consumer Lab. Approved, verifies that what's on the label is what's inside. When you see those logos, you're getting a supplement that's independently verified, not just self-promoted. The Mayo Clinic advises patients, especially older adults on medications, to only purchase supplements with at least one third-party certification to avoid cross-contamination or mislabeled ingredients. Signed the Perger 3, designed for the 60-plus metabolism. A well-designed senior multivitamin recognizes that your needs aren't the same as a 30-year-old's. For example, you may need less iron, since postmenopausal adults usually don't lose iron through menstruation. You may need more vitamin D3, calcium, magnesium, and K2 for bone support. You likely benefit from more B12 and B6 to support nerves and brain health. You may also require less vitamin A to avoid toxicity, and no copper if your diet already includes nuts and seeds. Smart multivitamins adjust these ratios. They don't overload your system, they fine-tune it. The National Institute on Aging found that balanced, senior-specific multivitamins improved cognitive resilience and muscle maintenance in older adults, but only when doses mirrored biological need, not high-dose hype. In other words, precision beats quantity, always. Sign number 4, minimal transparent. Other ingredients. A good label should look boring. The fewer additives, the better. Avoid artificial colors or dyes like FD&C Blue 2 or Yellow 5, titanium dioxide used for whitening, maltodextrin or hydrogenated oils, cheap fillers, artificial sweeteners, especially sucralose or aspartame. Instead, acceptable binders include cellulose, vegetable capsules, or rice flour. When in doubt, imagine this. If your multivitamin were food, would you eat the ingredient list? If the answer is no, don't swallow it every morning. According to the Environmental Working Group, EWG, some common additives used in supplements are also found in processed junk food. Choose clean, simple formulas. Your body will thank you. Sign were 5. Pairs. Well with real food and a healthy routine. A great multivitamin never replaces food, it supports it. In blue zones like Okinawa and Sardinia, where people live well into their 90s, they don't take handfuls of pills. They focus on food variety, leafy greens, beans, whole grains, nuts, and fermented foods. Their nutrient intake comes mostly from nature, not bottles. Use your multivitamin as a backup, not a crutch. Take it with your largest meal to improve fat-soluble vitamin absorption. Pair it with hydration and avoid caffeine right afterward since it can impair mineral uptake. The Harvard School of Public Health reminds us supplements can fill gaps, but they can't replicate the synergy of nutrients found in whole foods. So when you combine a smart multivitamin with balanced meals, gentle exercise, good sleep, and stress control, that's when it actually works. You're giving your cells all the raw materials and recovery time they need to thrive. In the next part, we'll expose one more industry secret, how big pharma and food giants quietly shape the supplement market, and what that means for your health choices. We'll also explore how to build your own real food multivitamin plan straight from your kitchen. Let's pull back the curtain for a moment, because what most people don't realize, especially those who trust the same familiar brands they've seen on shelves for decades, is that the supplement industry isn't really run by nutrition experts anymore. It's controlled by the same corporations behind big pharma, big food, and big chemical manufacturing, and that changes everything about how your multivitamin is made, priced, and marketed. When you buy a bottle of Centrum Silver, you're not supporting a small family-owned health company. You're buying a product owned by Pfizer, one of the largest pharmaceutical corporations in the world. The same goes for One A Day. It's owned by Bayer, the same company behind Roundup and numerous chemical products. Even Nature Made, which markets itself as natural, is owned by Otsuka Pharmaceutical, a major Japanese drug manufacturer. Why does this matter? Because these mega companies are not nutrition innovators. They're logistics and marketing machines. Their business model is simple: maximize shelf life, minimize cost, and sell billions of units. To achieve that, they often rely on synthetic ingredients made from petrochemical byproducts or GMO corn, low-cost mineral salts like carbonate and oxide forms, aggressive marketing with bright colors and health claims that sound reassuring but lack transparency. In other words, the vitamin aisle is not the wellness haven it appears to be. It's another branch of the processed food and pharmaceutical industry. A 2022 investigation by Consumer Reports found that over 75% of popular multivitamin brands were owned by large corporations with major pharmaceutical or agricultural divisions, and that many of these products used formulations unchanged for over 20 years. Why standardized extracts? Don't always mean quality. Have you ever seen a label that says something like standardized to 10% ginsenosides or standardized extract? It sounds scientific, and that's intentional. But here's what it really means. Only a tiny portion of that capsule actually contains the active compound, while the rest is filler. For example, a 100 mg standardized extract to 10% means you're only getting 10 mg of the real ingredient. The remaining 90 mg might be rice powder, silica, or maltodextrin. This doesn't make it worthless, but it shows how label language can mislead even smart consumers. The supplement industry uses these terms to make formulas look potent without truly delivering a therapeutic amount. A good company discloses both the amount of the extract and the form used, and ideally, backs it up with clinical trials or third-party testing. The better way: food first, plus science-backed support. Here's the reality. The healthiest seniors I work with rarely depend on massive supplement stacks. Instead, they build their nutrition foundation through food and fill only proven gaps with carefully chosen, bioavailable nutrients. You can think of it like this: your kitchen is your pharmacy. A real multivitamin day might look like this. Breakfast: scrambled eggs with spinach and mushrooms, natural B12, choline, magnesium, vitamin D. Lunch: lentil soup with a drizzle of olive oil, folate, iron, potassium, antioxidants. Snack: handful of almonds or walnuts, magnesium, vitamin E, healthy fats. Dinner: salmon or sardines with roasted veggies, omega-3s, calcium, selenium, zinc. Dessert: fresh berries or citrus, natural vitamin C, polyphenols, and fiber. If your doctor or dietitian recommends supplements to fill specific gaps, you add them strategically, not automatically. For example, a D3 plus K2 supplement if your lab tests show deficiency. B12, methylcobalamin, if you're vegetarian or have low stomach acid. Magnesium glycinate if you struggle with sleep, cramps, or muscle tension. Omega-3 fish oil or algae oil for heart and brain support. That's all most older adults truly need, and your body will respond better than it ever could to a cheap multivitamin made in a warehouse. The Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health reminds patients, no pill can replace the synergy of nutrients found in a well-balanced diet. Supplements are meant to complement, not substitute, healthy eating. How to reclaim your health decisions. Here's what I recommend you do starting this week. Audit your supplement cabinet. Turn every bottle around. If you see more than 2 red flags from Part 2, toss it. Simplify your list. Focus on the essentials proven to help adults over 60, D3, magnesium, B12, omega-3, and maybe a balanced senior multi if needed. Go food first. Aim for at least 5 colors of plants a day, 1 protein-rich meal, and 2 servings of calcium-rich foods from real sources. Choose transparency. Buy only from companies that list forms, testing, and sources clearly on their website. Discuss with your doctor, especially if you take medications, because even natural supplements can interact with prescriptions. Now that we've unpacked the myths and exposed the industry games, it's time for the part that really matters: how to build your own personalized multivitamin plan, one that supports your energy, brain, and longevity naturally, using a balance of foods and science-backed nutrients. That's what we'll explore next. Here's something you'll never hear in a supplement ad. Your body doesn't recognize pills. It recognizes food. Every cell in your body, from your heart to your brain, evolved to pull nutrients from real, whole foods, not synthetic, isolates made in a lab. When you give your body what it understands, everything changes, energy returns, digestion smooths out, inflammation drops, and your mind clears. So, in this final part, we'll show how to rebuild your daily routine around food-based nutrition, your own natural multivitamin plan that works with your biology, not against it. Step 1. Replace megadoses with micronourishment throughout the day. The old supplement model told us to pop one massive pill in the morning and call it a day, but your body doesn't work that way. It absorbs nutrients best in small, steady doses, ideally from meals. Try this rhythm instead. Morning, a bowl of Greek yogurt with chia seeds and berries, calcium, magnesium, probiotics, antioxidants, vitamin C, one soft-boiled egg or two, choline, vitamin D, B12, lutein for eye health. Midday, a serving of lentil or bean soup with vegetables, folate, potassium, iron, and fiber to stabilize blood sugar. Evening, salmon or mackerel with sautéed spinach and sweet potatoes. Omega-3s, vitamin A, magnesium, selenium, and vitamin E. This approach gives your body a constant drip of nutrition, improving absorption while keeping your blood sugar and energy balanced all day. According to the National Institute on Aging, spreading nutrients through meals improves utilization by 30 to 50% compared to taking large, isolated doses in supplement form. Step 2. Use color as your multivitamin guide. Forget calorie-counting count colors instead. Every shade on your plate represents different phytonutrients that act like cofactors, antioxidants, and natural detoxifiers. Here's how easy it can be. Green, spinach, broccoli, kale. Magnesium, folate, and vitamin K. Red, tomatoes, berries, peppers. Lycopene, vitamin C, anti-inflammatory polyphenols. Orange, or yellow. Carrots, pumpkin, turmeric. Beta-carotene, lutein, antioxidants for vision. Purple, blue. Eggplant, grapes, blueberries. Resveratrol, anthocyanins for brain health. White, brown. Garlic, onions, mushrooms, allicin, selenium, and immune support compounds. The Harvard School of Public Health notes that people who eat 5 or more color groups daily have a 31% lower risk of chronic disease and significantly higher antioxidant levels even without supplements. Your eyes are the best nutrition tracker you have. If your plate looks like a rainbow, you're already taking nature's best multivitamin. Step 3. Add smart. Nutrient insurance, supplements, only where you need them. Even the cleanest diets sometimes fall short, especially if digestion, sun exposure, or appetite change with age. That's where targeted supplementation earns its place. Here's what most seniors actually benefit from. According to the Cleveland Clinic and Johns Hopkins Medicine, nutrient. Why it matters after 60. Best form. Natural sources. Vitamin D3, Plauchestu. Supports bone and heart health. D3, cholecalciferol. Plus MK7, sunlight, eggs, sardines, magnesium. Calms nerves, prevents cramps, improves sleep. Glycinate or citrate. Leafy greens, nuts, seeds. B12 boosts energy and brain health. Methylcobalamin. Eggs, dairy, fortified foods. Omega-3, fish or algae oil, reduces inflammation, supports brain triglyceride form, salmon, mackerel, chia seeds, probiotic supports digestion and immunity, multi-strain, 10+ billion CFU yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut. You don't need to take all of these daily. Think of them as tools, not crutches. If your energy, sleep, and digestion are good, your system's likely in balance. Step 4. The lifestyle. Multivitamin, sleep, movement, and sunlight. Your body doesn't just absorb nutrients through your gut, it absorbs life through your habits. Sleep resets your hormone and repair cycles. Movement circulates nutrients and oxygen to every cell. Sunlight activates vitamin D and boosts serotonin. Try this simple daily framework. Morning, 10-15 minutes of natural sunlight and deep breathing outdoors. Afternoon, a short 10-minute walk after your biggest meal to stabilize blood sugar. Evening, dim lights, 90 minutes before bed to help melatonin production. A 2023 Harvard Medical School review showed that seniors who combined sunlight exposure, light exercise, and a balanced diet improved overall vitality and mood by over 40% in just 12 weeks, even without supplements. Your lifestyle is your most powerful vitamin. Step 5. Build a trust-based health routine. Not a product habit. The supplement industry thrives on confusion, but your body thrives on consistency. Instead of constantly switching brands or chasing new supervitamins, choose a small set of trusted science-backed habits and make them part of your rhythm. Eat whole, colorful foods, hydrate with clean water, supplement only where your blood tests show you need it, move every day, sleep deeply, smile and connect. Relationships nourish your chemistry as much as food does. As the Blue Zones Project found, social connection and daily purpose are stronger predictors of longevity than any supplement on Earth. Here's the truth. You don't need 30 pills to stay young. You need a system that works with your body. Nature already designed that system for you. Real food, sunlight, movement, rest, and joy. So before reaching for another miracle multivitamin, pause and ask, is this something my grandmother would recognize as food? If not, your body probably won't either. The 5 keys to a smarter multivitamin life. Choose bioavailable nutrients that your body recognizes. Look for third-party testing. Purity matters more than promises. Match your formula to age-specific needs. Less iron, more D3, K2, B12. Use food as your foundation, not pills. Let your habits become your real multivitamin, consistent, nourishing, and natural. You can't stop aging, but you can feed your vitality, one smart choice at a time. So tell me in the comments, which of these changes will you start this week? Food first eating, smarter supplements, or simply more sunlight? If this helped you see multivitamins differently, tap subscribe and join our community for more trusted science-backed health tips for life after 60. Because your best years aren't behind you, they're what you build next.